Ooh, sorry about that. I did not realize that I had my audio off. Just had to turn that on real quick. Alrighty. So, goal was to fix oil and then redo the factory. And I didn't do my planning. Darn. Oh well. I think a good thing to aim for with this factory in general. Well, okay, first, let me go check out. This is industrial manufacturing. Let me check what products I can unlock. Because if I can unlock heavy frames, that seems to be like a major sort of breakthrough point for people. Yeah, so we can unlock heavy modular frames. That seems to be the last material. Okay. Um, so I think what we should do is aim for a factory that produces these materials with some excess of each thing leading up to it. I don't know how much of this just yet, and I also need to see these. So I think our goal, set up the oil refineries and pick these items up to unlock industrial manufacturing. So okay. So taking a quick look at our motors, we do not have enough. We need many more stators, which steel pipes are the limitation, which, I mean, that's not unexpected. We're slowly running behind on the cable because it's being made at the same rate as at which the other stuff's being made. Alright, steel pipes. Okay. So this should be enough for all of the stators I need. This is gonna be 3-to-1, 8-to-1. I don't know what's gonna limit it, but so I need those. And then I need the frames, which I have 50, 50, 30. Let's just grab the frames and drop them now, because I can go do that. Alright. Let's drop off. Oh, that's cable? Ew. We should have enough cable. Well, when I come back up for the motors... Oh, but I need some of the motors for the oil refineries. Darn. Let me actually use the to-do list the correct way. So let's say I add another oil extractor. I'll need 6 more oil refineries. And then I'm just going to assume, based off of that, I'm going to get, let's just say 10. I mean, 10's a comfortable number. So that gives me what I need to build for. Oh man, 225 motors. Wow, motors became very important very quickly. Much more than I can support, unfortunately. Steel pipes, cables. What's that even making over here? Automated wiring. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be plenty, because that'll leave me with 200 left over. And then for copper sheets, let's grab 2 of those. The rubber I can get from the oil refineries. The motors need to be retrieved from here. Oops, wrong set. Here it is. Let's see what we've got so far. So this will barely make 10 motors each, so that's 20. Oh boy. Need more rotors. Right over here. Alright, I might have to cut back on the cables. I think I'm fine on cables for the time being. So, we'll let this start picking up. Actually, I probably should have just deleted it from there. Oh, you know what? And I should be making more of these in the background. So, let's see. More concrete. Oh, this one's full. Nice. Okay, there we go. So this will be making more. For tier 4 belts, which I'll need all over the base. The upgraded base. So. So, because I'll be destroying these machines and placing a majority of them back down, I think the best thing to do would be to set up a single, like, take the blueprints and set down single copies of the blueprint for each production line, so that I'm making some of each material. Then I can come back and fill out their full production. That way I don't risk overbuilding one type of material and running out of resources. That happened to me last time on a build. Very frustrating, because then you have to kind of like play this game of running around trying to like refill things as you go. Did I already refill this one? I did. Let's see. 259, that's it. Definitely not producing enough copper to keep up with the demands. Seeing as I've managed to satisfy exactly 20 out of 225. So I don't even have the copper cable or the copper wire to do this. I guess it's just called wire. Interesting. So copper wire is just wire, and then Caterium wire is specifically Caterium wire. Or, okay, it's quick wire. Okay, then that makes sense then. I need to fix where I put down that marker. I wish I could, like, just drag it to move it over. Oh well. Um... Refinery. Put back the drop icon. Let's change the color to something like closer to oil. And then... let's see. Bar includes the space. Okay. So we'll go with bar. And then we'll potentially be able to drop this power plant. We've got quartz over here. Sure, we'll go for rock. Yeah, we'll go for that. Makes sense. Okay. Alright. Wait, what was that? Oh, that's the blueprint machine. I'm like wondering what the heck is that big square? Out of staters yet again. So it's going to be another 20 stators, or 20 motors. This isn't even running, so I'm running barely anything. Cool. I think once I get 100 motors, I think I'll be fine. Because I just need to wait for the base resources to build up. I'm just running a deficit on the copper wiring and the steel pipes. So if I go off to do stuff with the oils refineries, that should resolve itself. Well, it wouldn't resolve itself, but I should build up enough of a backlog that it's not a big deal. And then we can spend time while we're unlocking industrial manufacturing to start moving the factory around, excluding those components, because it would just be copper, copper, steel, iron. Regardless, we've got like enough buffer built up on the materials that I can start working my way up. Okay. Oop. Actually, get rid of that slot. Okay. Well, while this is going for approximately 2 minutes, I'll be right back. I've returned. Sorry about that. Let's see. And there we go, like I suspected. I had a good buffer of steel pipes, so that wasn't a big issue, but the wiring, that's the real issue. This one's got plenty to work with, so I'll go for 200 each in here. That should give me a good amount. This should give me 15 each, so that's 30. So we'll hit the 100 that I'm aiming for, because even if I'm only able to run 5 of the generators, that should, I mean, that's still going to be 1.25, I think it's gigawatts. So that's, I mean, that it's essentially going to double my power grid. Which I'll probably need because... I guess because most of this factory is kind of running low, it's not a big deal. But yeah. An interesting thing is the difference between this yellow line and this light blue line pretty much shows you how inefficient your factory is, because this is all of the machines I have placed, and the orange line to the bottom is all of the machines that are actually doing something. So from this perspective, my factory's operating almost at half efficiency, which normally is bad. Right now I'm lucky because my power draw is higher than my actual production, so it's fine, but it's not something good. Let's keep this going. So there we go. We have the 100. Let me actually check real quick. So this is the one that takes 15. And these take 10, 15, 70. Okay, no. So this is gonna take, the refinery and the oil extractors will take 60. It's like 75. So with 100, I'll be able to make 2 of these generators. Okay. Maybe I'll hold off just to build up more. I think I will do that. I know I said going for 100, but might be better, be in my better interest to go for maybe, oh, I don't know. Well, every 15 above 75 is going to be a generator, so go for 4, that's 60. 60 plus 75, 135. That shouldn't be too difficult to aim for, in all honesty. Whoops. And if only there was automation in this game, so that you didn't have to go picking up things out of machines. I don't know why I choose to play this game the way I do. Just another cycle of the motors, and should have enough for that at least. Let's stop by and drop off the cable right now. Cool. we're close. Let me grab 2 sets of rotors. There we go, there's the... I can make 4 of the generators. We'll make about 12. This will make about... maybe I'll wait for the 5 I originally said. So 150. One more coupon. Oops. There we go. Let's go. I'm curious, will I make it? No, I did. More Caterium ore here. All right. Get started. I have a feeling I know why these have stopped. Could it possibly be? They're full of fuel. Okay. So this is on top of a normal node. And this is a normal node. Cool. So you shouldn't be here. It's cheating. Okay. Cool. Let's let the pipes run through so that these run themselves out and I get everything I need from them. Oh wow, that... It's not great. I didn't realize that they stopped so quickly. But, oh well. So, looking at what we have in terms of space, probably my best interest, especially considering I'm about to have to start placing fuel or power cells. Verticality's not great for that. There's not really resource nodes over here, so I'm not against building sort of a 2-layered design. I can have the refineries down here. And then, am I going to be able to make it? Yep. I think I'll build the power plant on top of it. In all honesty, though, maybe it's better to work my way down. No, okay, you know why that's not the case? Because these are... How tall are these compared? Actually, these are shorter. Okay, maybe we will have those on the bottom. Yeah, huh. And we're gonna build a water tower structure for the... Well, an oil tower structure with pumps. It's a... Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, well, these are done. So let me make use of this to drop off everything that's not used directly in the building. So I don't have to deal with that. And I don't run out of inventory space, because that would suck. Okay. So... now, with this structure, I'd like to raise it up a little, because even if I just go up here... Oh, you're kidding me. I should have still had some concrete. Oh, man. Alright, well, I have to go back. Boing. More time. Boing. I'm actually a little upset that I didn't bring enough... I don't know why I didn't think about that. And I left my fuel behind. Oh, jeez. Also, what the heck did I do here? Yep, okay. Forget, did I unlock the double ramps? Did, okay, cool. Nope, not gonna make it this time. Oops. Oh, jeez. Okay, now that we have the resources to actually build, like I was saying, I kind of want to go up one, just to have more available space. I'd be able to push out over to here Honestly, with the height of the... Let's see, real quick. I just forgot. There it is. Okay, so maybe up one. How does this do? How does this go? That's pretty decent. This lets me go out to here comfortably, and that covers a lot more space than down below. Now, as for tier above, let's go over here and take a look. Just trying to test if everything will fit together the way I want it to. Okay, come on, come on. Yes, alright. Coming over here. That should still be plenty of height. Let's see. We'll just place one down, see what happens. Alright, yeah, we have plenty of clearance. So that's what we'll be doing then. So we'll start it on this level, and then we'll have it up there for the refinery section. The other benefit is that that will let me very easily transport it to a train system since it's up top. I'm realizing that putting the refineries above is definitely a smarter idea. Arguably, though, the smartest idea would be to move the power away from the refineries, because if I want to expand, forces me to... It's easier to transport liquid sideways than up. If I want to expand... Well, I guess I would just expand outwards anyways. Guess it doesn't matter. Okay, regardless. Let's clear these up. Careful not to clear storage containers, that would suck. Oh, was I covering a thing of oil as well? Oh, I didn't even realize. Whoops. Well, in that case, let's see. Let me make sure I don't cover it. So, say we stop here. Okay. All right. And then for the fuel line, so, okay. How much fuel does this actually take? 20 meters cubed per second, or per minute. And then... Let me take a look at the refinery. If I go for residual fuel, we make 40 per minute. So each refinery supports 2 generators. And 60 heavy oil per minute Okay. We should be able to support all of the generators for this instance off of a single line. Not too worried about that. Okay. And then we extend outward this direction as needed. That will suck for the natural roads. We'll see if we can constrain it to being just here, because this barely intercedes with the road, but leaves plenty of space, so I'm not too worried. If I bring it over, it'll become an issue. Okay. Well, regardless, let's get started up here. So, definitely overbuilding. But let's say this goes 2 out. I kind of want to put this one up to there. See, the funny thing I'm thinking at the same time is like, yes, maybe putting the power plant below. However, the power plant's going to be much larger. There's more space up here. I don't know. Conundrums, conundrums. Because let's see. If we look at the recipes real quick, for heavy oil residue, you've got 30 per minute to 10 and 30 to 20. So we're going to be pumping a lot of oil and having smaller heavy oil outputs. So I'll be able to, let's see. Yeah, essentially if I run half plastic, half rubber, it's going to be a 2-to-1 ratio for producing heavy oil residue, which means I'll have half the lines of heavy oil residue being turned into fuel, and even fewer lines being turned into fuel. So it's a 2-to-1. This is a 3-to-2. So it'll be like a 2 to 0.6 ratio. Or 1 to 0.3, so a third as much being pumped upwards. Yeah, maybe it is better to have the power plant above the refineries. Let's make sure that the refineries are able to fit real quick. Oh, what the heck? I'm on the top layer. Whoops. I thought it was below. Yeah, because, let's see. Yeah, they still fit. Oh. There's a little bit of clipping, I think. What matters is if it clips up through the ground. Nope, but you probably will have smoke coming up through underneath. Okay, well, let's place down the refineries, see what the ratios look like. So really quickly, we have 120 per minute being made for each of these. And a refinery takes in... how do I want to route it? Probably best to route it this way. Yeah, because then I could pull off and have the pipes go along the sides. Come back up. So let's see. So a single refinery, if I'm producing, let's say this side is going to be rubber. It's going to be 30 per minute. So 4 of these, I think this is 4 of these. Let's move this out of the way. Okay. So taking a look at these, I'm able to have... So if we do this, I can fit it perfectly. Quite a bit of excess room. Except, ooh, I did forget the outputs. Still need space for the outputs. I can't have them just hanging off the end. It's not great necessarily. In that case, I mean, here I could very easily add another row, including this over here, which is a little bit of a nuisance. Let's see real quick. So 4 of these fit in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I mean, in all honesty though, if I brought it back and just gave, say... Because I should be pulling off... Especially by the time I have another set of refineries, I should have another... I should have marked 2 pipelines. And I can run 2 pipes. They're not... Yeah, I could totally run 2 pipes in. I'm just taking input of oil, so I'm not really too pressed for space. Okay, real quick, let's see. Could I do... How does this end up looking? We do this. Not great, but I mean, also I can very easily have it be right here. Same deal for this one. Like, this still has plenty of clearance once I take into account bringing it right here. So I'm not too worried about that, in all honesty. Although I did forget, I'm trying to layer them a certain way. Well, okay, I guess. Let's see. Let me just see real quick what happens. So this gives me enough room to pass a line down. So I think I'm fine with that. In all honesty, I could probably even move these closer. But I think I'm fine with that for the time being. Weird. This one doesn't have... Oh. Whoops. Okay. I also forgot that I'm trying to run these off of a... So this I want to do a balanced belt. I don't want to do what I've been doing. I've been straying too far from setting up balanced factories. So these two oil refineries sit below the pipeline cap of... What is it? 300, I think is the cap. Yeah, 300. Because we're sitting at 240. But if I add the other two, I'll sit at above that. Now, I do believe it'll be easiest to just have these run off of a single line. To merge these two and then split them. So I think that's what I'm going to do. In all honesty, I could totally bring this in to 2 and still have a nice amount. I think I'll go for 1. Because what's going to end up happening is I'm going to go... Yeah, just 1 in. Yeah. The junctions aren't going to be placed here. The junctions are going to be placed... So I'm going to pull the... Let's see, where's the middle point? Alright, so they're all ever so slightly in. Alright. So this is arguably the middle. So what's going to actually happen is we're going to have one pipe come in through the top, and then we're going to split it out 2 directions. It's just going to split multiple times in like 2 directions repeatedly. So, for example, to start with, we're going to have it split to the midpoint over here. Let's see. Yep, that's the correct amount. And then we're going to have this split happen in between these two. And it's going to be top to the sides. So bring it up just like that. So we're going to attach it up here. Oop. Here. And this will attach there. This will attach there. We have just enough clearance to walk underneath. And essentially, this will balance all of the fluids to each of the machines. And there's plenty of clearance vertically, so to feed each of these, I just have to run a belt or run a pipe over the top of this one. I don't have to interact with this mix of piping ever. So actually, it's kind of pretty good, actually. Got just the right amount of complexity that makes you want to lose your mind. Let me see real quick. Okay, that aligns there. And then this one has to align over 1 and up 2, I believe. Yeah. Oh, whoops. correct. I guess I'm realizing I could have it face the other way, but I do like this, like, twirl design. I think it looks kind of cool. Right. Same deal. Have this one right in the middle of these. Up two, and then rotate. So we're gonna go here, here. Now this is starting to look like a fuel plant. Cursed. Over one, up two, and then rotated. I'll definitely have to turn this into a blueprint, because I think this is really cool. At the very least, just this node linking these two. Cool. So now, all we have to do to... What did I line this with? I think I messed up the alignment on this one. Whoops-a-daisies. Not that big of a deal. And is this lined up correctly? No, it is not. Alright, let me take a look. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. And then this one's correct. Cool. Okie dokie. So we're going to take both of these, merge them together. Guess we'll just go right. Let's align it to start with over here. Whoops. Heck. Oh, the rotation's all messed up somehow. Oh, because I was placing it against the wall. Sure. Okay, you know what? It'll be easier to align if I just bite the bullet. I just do this. Now the question is, do I want it to go... I guess I'm making that decision right now anyways. Well, I guess the answer was always I was going to go this way, because this pool right here will get tapped eventually. Pool. That node. Let's change that. Let's face this that way. Alright, and then we're going to have this sit right here. Weird that it doesn't like that, but okay. So we'll take both of these as inputs, and then we're going to bring it all the way around here. Okay. And then this is going to go all the way up to here. Okay, maybe grabbing it there makes more sense. Yes, although I would like it to be, since this is the lowest one, I would like it to go to the bottom. So... Okay. I forget. Do I want it to go this way? No, I want it to go this way. And there we go. That is our pipeline. Now the question is it enough head lift? And I'll tell you right now, the answer is going to be no. Taking a look at the oil extractor, we have 10 meters of head lift, and I can tell you right now, this is 4, that's 4, that's our, yeah, that's too much. So we're gonna have to put a pump. Honestly, we might have to have a pump like right here. That's cool though, the pump does reach, so we can just keep, since the pump provides head lift, we can technically have the pump go anywhere. I think for aesthetic purposes, having it closer to the refineries makes sense. Now, how do I want to align this? I think the idea is like the box is accessible from there. Cool. So this will pump the liquid. The head lift diagram shows that it's enough. I don't even know how much head lift the pumps give you. Is it like, I'm assuming it's got to be like 20 for it to really be worth it. Hey, it is 20. Cool. I know I said I was going to go for a water tower design, but I'm not too concerned, I guess, with it for this. But cool. So each of these is going to provide 10 meters of head lift. So... Oh, but I need refineries for the heavy oil. Okay. So we have a... Real quick. So these are going to be rubber. And then these will be plastic. So this is going to produce 40 on this side. And this is going to produce 80. So we're going to produce 120 meters, or 120 units of heavy oil, which we can refine into... Let me remove that. We can refine that into 2 units of... That's going to translate to 2 refineries and 80 units of fuel, which results in 4 power plants. So what I could do is I could very easily have... We could have a line come in from here. We'll bring that up just a little. And we're gonna... Okay, how do I change the rotation degree? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So what we can do... Well, since this is just gonna be split... Oh my gosh. Okay, so since this is just being split 2 ways, I should be able to... Oh no, because this is the input, and then I have to split it back out. So we'll align it with this set of mechanisms. Yes, okay. And then what we'll do is we'll align it, and then we'll shift it over Dang it, I really ended up placing that in a bad spot. Okay. In reality, it can go here, here, and then we rotate this way, and this way. The idea being that we'll have junctions here, pick up the output, and then pipe it into here. And then we'll take it back out. Like this. And then the idea being, at least, in practice, so we can have the pipes line here. Oop, whoops, didn't mean to fall off. Cool. And then we're gonna rotate this direction. And the idea being that this is going to flow up here. This will flow around. Perfect. Yep. So that'll flow around, and then we'll have 2 refineries placed. One right here, and then one on this side. And then this will process the heavy oil residue into fuel. It might be in my better interest to do this above. No, because it's better to it's better to reduce it down before piping up. That's not necessarily true, but that's whatever. Well, this is what I'm choosing to go with. I'll suffer the consequences of my actions later. Future me, we'll see how upset future me is at myself. Alright. I guess, you know what? No. Instead of having it like this, let's just repeat the same pattern. We have this here, it's aligned. Put it in the center. Push it up to, then rotate it like this. Instead of having that one shaped like that. I can have it just like that. Very easily like that. And then we have this one go off to the left, and then this one go off to the right. Now I'm actually curious, what do the different designs do? Middle's a little more of a slope, horizontal to vertical doesn't really change. Honestly, I kind of like auto the most, so I'll stick with it. Okay. And then the same deal over here. Make sure it's the right height. Yep. And then we're going to rotate it like that. I don't understand how that's an invalid pipe shape, but okay. Just realized I didn't account for these belts needing to be pretty much... Oh, there's no output. Nope, there is output. Okay, let me rethink where this needs to be placed. Put down a merger first. Say, yeah, we're taking the outputs there. Okay. 20 per minute. Yeah, I'm not too worried. Okay. Then set of Mark II belts going all the way down. Now, what does that look like for putting down pipes? It's too high. Now, I could do something silly, but let's first start with this. Let's align it with the belt. See what happens, what different ways I can connect it. Oh, did I not line it up? Of course I didn't line it up like that. Okay. Let's line it up height-wise. Let's have this placed like that to begin with. No, I know this is aligned. Yep. Alright. So, auto clears the belt. Auto 2D hates me. Noodle does not comfortably. Horizontal to vertical even less. Curve does okay. Now, what about reaching to the top? Because I think this could be silly. Not like I expected it to be. Okay. And then the last option, I'm gonna leave this one here because I'm not in the mood to replace it again. That's one too high. And we'll place this one down like this and see what I can get out of it. So if we hook this up to this side, let's see what we can get. Not too bad for the auto and auto 2D. Noodle's good. I kind of like the horizontal to vertical. It doesn't like warp it too much, but no, we'll see. Now, okay, what if I grab from up here and bring it down? That's actually hilarious to me. Wow, it really did not like starting at the top for that connection. It's not doing too hot. What happens if I start at the top on this side? I guess it doesn't really change it that much. Okay. And then obviously we have... What if I start from the bottom and then bring it down? Not much of a difference. Honestly, I think we might just go for auto. It's got the best amount of clearance I could see. Alright, that's what we're gonna go for. And that way I'm able to pull the belt off and route it out to whatever stations or anything I need. That was a bit of finagling, but I think it's in a good spot now to continue. Let's see. And then just a quick little rotation. So that. Yep, cool. So this should end up powering itself quite easily, in all honesty. Okay, let's keep going. I can, once I turn it on, I can consider the implications of it all. Let's see. So something I find annoying is that the pipe junctions and the pipelines actually will change their frame of reference when you rotate them. I don't really like that, I gotta say. Just to be consistent, we're gonna start it off right here. Okay. So this is all hooked up. We have pipes, we have fuel. Now I have to fix this one because my actions have consequences. Let's see. Alright, same deal. We're gonna grab the mergers and we're going to feed it this direction. I don't actually know if that lined up properly. I'll have to go back and check. Nope, no it did not. Oh, cool. So we're gonna have a production of 20 plastic or 80 plastic and 80 rubber per minute. I know there's more refinery locations to tap, but I think I'm fine with these two for now. Let's see. Yeah, interesting. So this is like its own unit. So potentially I could make another unit over here. I might clear some of these for the space. Now I'm actually curious. This quote-unquote, you know, unit, as I'm saying, this supports 4 power plants. What happens? Am I able to fit 4 in here? I think that would be very cool. So same deal, like we pull it in. That's not a power plant. That is a power plant. Alright. This actually takes less space. And I don't need to be worried about outputs, so I'm able to push it out. And honestly, if it supports 4, I kind of want to go for, yeah, let's see if I can do what I want. I'm very curious now, because I feel I have the opportunity to do something pretty cool if I'm able to carry it out. Alright, how close are we to the edge? I mean, I could just stick it in there. There's a little clipping, but nothing too upsetting. Oh, I am able to do what I want to do. Okay. Well, in all honesty, it makes sense to follow this pattern, so maybe I'll move this in a little and have this come in. Yeah, you know what, we'll do that. Same deal. Grab this. We're going to align it right here. And since we're pulling off for 4, I'm going to line it up to this one. Yes, because this is going to take input from 2 sides, and I want to route it down. So that makes sense. So this will take the input from 2 sides. It's perfectly fine. And we clear that out. Okay. I don't want it to slope like that. There we go. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Dang it. Why did this work so nicely? Oh, because I guess I brought it up to that height prior to doing that. Same deal. I guess I'll bring it up to the proper height. There we go. That is the proper height. And then we're going to rotate it like this. Have it be auto. Have it be straight. Okay. So let's rotate this. And that is the correct... Yes, that is correct. Now the only question remains... Do I want it to be this way? You know what? I think I do. Okay. Okay, wait. I forgot. Oh, that's not a part of the loop. Let me grab a junction. Is this the right height? Yes, it is. Okay, we're gonna go for auto. Seriously, why won't you let me place? Cool. All right. All of our pipes are hooked up for this one, going into the fuel line, or the heavy oil going into the fuel lines. This will produce the fuel we want. So I think in my last playthrough, I just went straight for like, I just had like heavy oil residue building up for some reason. I didn't set up a processing line like this. I didn't take advantage of it. I don't know why. Okay. Now the thing that I'm trying to do here is I was trying to have sort of like a turning design, which I guess I could also do with rotating them. So like, let's say, see, this is pretty even. So let's say I treat it as, let me put it right there. Rotate it. Yeah, see, I wish. Obviously this won't work this way, because it's just, like, it's too close. This actually isn't too bad. Let's see what happens if I do this with over here. So if we bring it inward, we rotate it to be, this is directly on. Oh no, it's rotated too much. Yep, so that's correct. But if I push it out, see, I have to push that out further, which is not great. But this is as far back as I can push this one. It's very close to the center. Actually, no it isn't, because this is the center. Yeah, wait a minute. This should be right here. Ew. Why is this not? This one's direct on the center line. Why is this not? Let me try again. Really? Weird. Weird that this one did it so well. Then this one doesn't want to. See, the line hints to me that this is supposed to be like right here. Yep, that's spot on. Okay. Now, if we looked at the distances, this is off by about there. Am I able to, like, put it right on the corner? I am. Yep, okay. And then this is mostly lined up. Oh, really? Come on. That's just barely too close. Okay, so if I just pushed it back tiniest bit, same deal here then. Let's push this back the tiniest bit. See, now it's, oh no, that's weird. Alright, it does look like I'm going to be able to do my idea, which I'm happy about. Okay, so... placing it about here. Oh, look at that. It even tells me. It can tell it's lined up. That's perfect. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Perfect. So now, my grand plan all along was to have this setup. So what I was planning is to have, okay, well, it's probably easiest to rotate this. Right shift rotates the roll. Yes, there we go. Perfect. Okay. And then we have lined up here. Right there. And then it shifts over here. Rotate the roll. I need to rotate the roll more. That's not what I wanted. Okay. So what my grand plan was to do this. This is the design I was going for. And then have this go on the top. Just like that. Look at that. I think that looks really cool. And it's all sort of like its own processing chain. I think that's cool. Oh, I'm out of... I burnt through all my fuel? Really? That's actually kind of... I'm surprised. I didn't expect that. I guess I wasn't paying attention. That's fine. I think we finished all of the building, and I didn't even use this. I think in the future I will. I'll come back. But I think this is very cool. I'm very happy with how this turned out. In terms of like spacing and ratios. And it's cool because like these end up being aligned. So it ends up still looking like it's straight. It's meant to be this way instead of being turned on 45s. Cool. All right. We should be able to just hook power up. Jump start everything. I think the only thing would be to set up some storage containers, which do I want them? I could push them off to the side, like right here, and just have the belts coming through. I might do that because this is a nice spot. I'm not biting into anything with this stuff. Should be able to have one fit here. Like, I'll see where I decide to have them, but should be able to have the belts coming in this way. What are we looking at here? Default's doing that because it's too far back. It's fair. Maybe it's better to have them lined up like this. mm. I somehow managed to mess this up while placing it, which is funny. Okay. Firstly, let's go for Mark IIs. And secondly, go for straight. And then we can do the same thing over here. Oh, and look at that. Perfect clearance. 10 out of 10. I'm very happy. Oh. I almost didn't set up the fuel line over here. That would not have been great. Now, the only conundrum. I have lost my ability to fly. Let's see. Definitely too high. I can't tell. The apex of my jump, I'm barely touching the top. Yep, okay, so that is aligned. Let's see. Yep, no shift in height, so that means I got it right. And I didn't rotate it, because of course I didn't. Let me make sure I'm doing this correctly. And then we're gonna grab the belt, like I said. Okay, let's see. Is there any clipping? There's no clipping of the sort. Perfect. Oh yeah, look at this thing. And then we have plenty of room for pulling from both of these storages. Alright. Everything is hooked up. Time to give this whole plant some juice. Before that though, I need to go grab and make some solid biofuel. I'm very excited. This is a build that I think is like done. I'm not gonna come back, and at least this section of the build is done. I might like come back and design it a little, but the interior I think is finished. Put some catwalks and clean it up. But I'm happy with how like the buildings themselves have come out. And this is definitely a design that I'm gonna keep in the future. Like having the 8 to 2 to 4 generators. Definitely gonna go for that. I think I just need maybe like, let's just burn through the first stack of biomass. And we can even have the other 2 pools become their own little plant and just have it be a side plant with just a set of 4, 2, or 4, 1, 2. And I'll keep the same spacing because I don't know if there's other oil in the area. On that note, let me actually check. There's these 2 impure nodes. It even looks cool on the map. Yeah, so that's it for a long ways. Yeah, so I would turn this into its own oil processing facility. This, I think, is going to stay as its own. Okay, yeah, let's definitely... Let's hook up all the power. For power poles, I think we're just gonna go here, here, and then we're gonna have one right. Well, having one in the middle just feels appropriate. Right there. I hope the lines don't intersect grossly with anything. Nope. No they don't. Cool. So this will be here so we can pull off to the main road where we've got power over there. Yeah, let's fix this. Wire's too long. Whoa there. Okay. Well, first things first, let's get these off the road. I didn't do that. Okay. Let's pull this power pole right up to here. Okay, this doesn't intersect the walls. I'm gonna cross over to here. Oops. Is that a spider? It is. And it's a big spider. Ew, stay away from me. I don't want to do anything. I don't want anything to do with that thing. I think I'll bring it over to here. Alright, is it able to reach here? Yes, it is. The cable goes through, which I probably should care about. Let's see. If I bring it right here, like at this angle, it comes out. And it, let's see. Nope, that's too much. That seems to be just right for there, although it's in the way. So let's go for that spot. What are we looking at? Yep, that's probably the correct thing to do. Alright. We have our wiring looking nice. We have our fuel lines wired in. Then we're gonna have we're gonna pull it out to here so that it's clean. This doesn't intersect with anything, right? Oops. No, and that is in line with the rest of the poles. Okay, so Power to that one. Power to this one. Okay. And this will satisfy the power to these two. And then we're going to take off from this line, and we will put power down. See, this is in the way now, unfortunately. Actually, I could take all. I've used up so many resources, it's not an issue. Yep. Okay. So now we're going to put this down here. We could put power to this pump. And attach it cleanly to here. Alright, moment of truth. Time to find out if I wired anything up incorrectly. Here we go. Oil. Oil. Pump. Oh, here we go. I'll also take a chance to see how much head lift this thing has to provide. Alright, expecting to see 240. Perfect. And then over here. Oh, here we go. Fluid's flowing in. Alrighty. There we go. Everything's coming alive all at once. Let's clean this up while we're sitting here. If there's a panel up there, I'm gonna leave it just because it's a good reference for when I want to come back here and do stuff. Oops. That isn't what I meant to do. What I will do, if I have the opportunity, is I will put down... I do like the walkways more. The only thing, though, is that these walkways... Let's see... Oh, we could go for the walkways. Now, the question is... Do I want the walkways to be up here? Honestly, don't know if I really need the walkways, because it's so close together. Kind of all... merged together. The only places where the walkway makes sense ends up being like across. Which, you know what? Actually... So the stupid thing is that you place one down here, place one down here, and then you move this one to be in between the two of them. Or you move it so that it's like lined up as best as you're gonna get. Oh, jeez. So like, move it in a little. So it somewhat fits. It's nice to see. So we're producing plenty. And then we have no power coming here. No fuel. Why not? Alright, these two have turned on. It's burning 40 per minute. And we're producing 40 on this side. 40 on this side. This should be building up quite a bit. Oh, okay, I see. Even though I'm trying to do the load balancing, unfortunately the game's... Let me get a little further away. Stand right here. The game's physics have gotten in my way. Interestingly, it's prioritized... So, it prioritized going down instead of to the sides. So, what ended up happening is it's fueling the bottom two over these two. Now, what I could do, which I'm not, because I really like this design, and I don't personally think this violates my, like, balancing principle, because that's what I was aiming for, and even if it's, like, wrong, it's not necessarily what I was aiming... Like, this isn't a manifold. I wouldn't say that. Like, these output lines, those are manifolds, but, like, the input lines, I don't consider to be in violation of it. But the way to get this one to be a manifold would be to have this pipe come into two, split them off, and then have two separate ones. But I really don't want that because this design's so cool. I really like it. So I think it's fine. Once these two fill back up, which they're well on their way to, the other two will kick in. So I'm not too worried. These should all be, like, barely running constantly. It should be, like, rounding errors which cause them to go up, which, in all honesty, I'm gonna turn this one off so that the others can build up and then we don't have a sloshing issue. Same thing here. I'm gonna turn one of these off so that we build up a reservoir in these. Big concern is just having oil be on there. Oh, and because it's liquids, I can't tell. Now, I'm curious. Do these actually... Are these the same size? Should have checked. I think so. What the? I guess that's as close as I'm gonna get it. Oh well. It's hard to see from a distance, I'm assuming. But it does look cool. Alright, let's take a look at the fuel. How much are we building up? None. Okay. Oops. Alright, so once this one caps out on fuel, this one will start filling up. But it's going to take a little bit. Either way, though, I'm very happy with how this turned out. Oop, daisies. Interesting, so this isn't building up. Oh, because the others are still filling up with crude oil. Okay, yeah, there's some platforms still up here. Let me clean up this one. Because I don't think you can see the rest of these from below. Nope. Cool. Yep. So there's this oil patch right here, and I believe there's another oil patch. I think that's the other one. So I'd be able to turn these two into a half set of this. Alright, let's I should have thought before I deleted it. Wasn't paying attention. How are we doing over here? Almost. So part of the reason you want to build up a bit of a liquid inventory in the, or liquid in the actual inventories, is that liquids don't slosh in the inventory of a building. So liquids in the inventories don't slosh. So this crude oil, whoops. See, so we've got 50 on this one, pushing 50 on this one. Weird that the liquid's choosing to prioritize different buildings, because these are mirrors. Weird to me. Like, these are maxed out. This one's not even accepting crude oil because its production's paused. But like technically it goes in and it should split down these two. So the same amount of oil should be going to this, both of these. And then same deal, it should split evenly. The only thing could be like these two might not be even. Which I guess maybe that's what's occurring. It's prioritizing. No. Weird. I didn't mess my math up, did I? Because we've got 240. Yeah, we have 240. Same deal here. So we're pumping. I mean, this one's sitting at 50, this one is not. Oh no, don't tell me that because... No, these are both 50, so that's not it. These are sitting... Maybe it's just building up slowly. So I guess I did only turn off one. And I can come to here and turn this off now that it's at 50 and turn this on. And go around turning them off as they hit 50. Oh, crud. That's why it's not producing enough. Yeah, let's just run two. I just realized that by turning off half of these, that effectively I'm producing half as much heavy oil residue, which means I'm running a fuel deficit. So let's just focus on filling these up first, and then I'll address that. Same thing here. These are going to start... Let me turn one of these off and let this one build up, and then I'll swap. So as long as each of these inventories has enough of a buffer to, like, hold on to during the processing the recipes to handle, like, minor floating point inconsistencies, it's fine. But, like, this is a fluid inventory here. This will slosh if there's any reason for it to. So if one of these runs out of inventory, stops, then, I mean, it should be full, so this shouldn't end up sloshing. But what ends up happening is, you know, the outputs come along here, it turned off, so it's going to stop processing for a second. Then this is going to miss some of its input and potentially run out, stop processing, and then all the way down the chain, it'll just keep happening, which is annoying, but... Yeah, so once this hits 50, we'll turn it off, turn the other one on. Alright, now we're building up a good amount. Let's start turning some of these on again. That's at 50, that's at 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. Alright, let's turn all of these on. I think this one's the one that's off. This one's off. Same deal here. I think that's all of them back on. Yes, the only one that's off is this one now, which I'll turn back on. Because this one hit 50, and I'm pretty sure these started building up backflow. So this one's probably never going to reach 50, but that's perfectly fine. If it just floats around 22... Weird. Seems like it's going down. Yeah. Why is this ever so slowly going down? Because it's 60 per minute, and I'm producing 20, 40, 60, and then this is 20, 30, 40, whoops, 50, and 60, so, I mean... Unless I'm... No, because they're all outputting. So that's definitely not it. For a second, I thought it might be a missing connection, but that doesn't make sense. It would have stopped pumping if that was the case. Yeah, it should be fine. I don't know. Weird that that's like slowly lowering how much it's producing. Or however much it has. Doesn't make much sense to me. Well, I messed up the fluid physics somehow, and that's upsetting. It's weird because, like, each of these is producing, there's no backflow. Like, none of these have a buildup of heavy oil residue in their inventories. Like, the moment they produce it, it goes out. So, I mean, technically by the amounts, these should both be getting the correct amount. But for some reason, this one's struggling. But, I don't know. Alright, before the lines start overflowing, both of these are on. Let's turn this one on. All right. Interesting. These top layers match identically with the height of the walkway on that side. That's interesting. I have a feeling it was done intentionally. Oh. But, alright, cool. So we definitely doubled our oil, we technically tripled them, but we doubled our oil refineries, set up oil power, all of the machinery is running. Got a pretty cool design in my personal opinion going here. And we can take a quick look. Oh yeah, we have plenty of resources. Now, because this is part of a processing chain, I don't want to I don't want to risk it filling or backing up and causing me to lose out on resources, so I'm going to have to use 2 smart splitters, and then I'm going to have to take a could I merge both lines in the middle? Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to do this prior to bringing resources in. Yeah. It's supposed to be done back here. What do I want to do then? Because I can... let's see. Let's see, let's see. So... I could easily extend these further. Put down 2 more of these. Have them placed right here. Oh, well, okay, I can't, but yeah, it's fine. So I should be able to put a smart splitter down here and put this as any and this as overflow, and then this is none. And then have another one. I could have one right here. Alright, I think I know what I'm gonna do. So we'll have a smart splitter right here. It's going to take input from here. We're going to have a merger right here. We will have this go this direction, and then have a splitter go here. Yeah, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. So let me make sure I set this up first though, because I almost forgot that again. So forward will be any, correct. To the right will be overflow. So let's do this real quick. Oh, ouch. Okay. And hopefully, oh well, there's internal inventory, so it's not going to back up too much. So this should all go this way. All right, cool. And then the overflow will get merged into here. And now, actually, how did I set up this merger? Oh, I did it correctly. Perfect. Okay, so then we're going to have another smart splitter right here. And this shouldn't interfere with anything since, yep. Left is overflow, and we can have that be there. Okay. So, ew. It's kind of gross. Maybe I should have aligned it a little better. All right, left is overflow. And then the street just does crazy stuff. Okay, that's much better. Perfect. And then I'm able to have a ticket machine, an awesome sink, just to handle the overflow. Where do I want the awesome sink? Because again, I don't want to interfere with the road, and this is the output lanes, so it's got to be back here. I guess I'm already interfering quite heavily. Can I fit the awesome sink? It's too large. Oh, I can lower it, which is a little funny. Kind of hide it. But the input port is right there at the bottom, so that doesn't work. What to do, what to do. It is at the end of the road that I start floundering in my design. That's slightly annoying. We have a merger. You know what we could do? We could do that. Okay, that's better. Who are you encroaching? Oh, okay. Okay, so we can insert it right here on top. And have this come out here. I'm kind of interested to see if I can do like a, will it do a spiral thing? No, I probably have to guide it, which, I mean, that's fine. So let's say we definitely want one right here, and then we're going to want a conveyor pole right here. So let's take a look. What do we got? So if we take a Mark III, oh, wrong spot for that. That's too tight of a curve, understandably. I don't know the amounts, unfortunately, for the curves. There's like ratios that people have figured out that are like correct for the curves. I just don't know them. I'll do that in the meantime. So, and honestly, I probably should be doing it based off this entry or this exit as a reference point instead of like there. Yeah, probably. Probably should have it aligned like right here. Alright, definitely not these. So let's take a look. Which ones do it like the does it like the most? Cool. It likes that the most. So does that do enough to get it cleanly up to here? No, that's too steep. This is... Oh, that's not steep at all. Okay, yeah, we could totally take this up to the second tier. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. Cool, so we do have our awesome sink set up, so I can set this to be one and done. So. And I should be able to actually sort of route this into the builds. I could sort of section this off and have this antenna section as part of the roof with the smokestack, since it's pretty well aligned, actually. So I could definitely come back and make it work cosmetically, which is nice. Okay, well, in the meantime, let me make sure. I have 400 rubber. I need the motors. Don't need the rubber or plastic. 400 plastic. All right, our plastic and rubber facility is done. Oil power, plastic, rubber. Cool. That was a pretty good run. That's already pretty much a majority of the stream done. I didn't realize how into building it I got. That was nice. Well, now that our power grid is very comfortable, we can come back here, start kicking off the redesign of the factory. We're going to be using those sinks as overflows a lot more frequently, because I want the factory constantly running. There's like a blob. Interesting. It's like, so it's weird how it's downsampling the reflections, because like the doorway somehow turns into this weird little oval. Interesting. Does it have my progress? Nope. I completed all the levels on a different save. I will not be doing that on this save. I think I'm good. Okay. Drop off the plastic. Let's go get the motors. And I haven't even checked. How much power do we actually have? 2.2 gigawatts, of which 800 of those? Nope, 1,000, of which 1 gigawatt is from that the oil plant. Which is quite nice. So, and there is another oil region nearby, so potentially, depending on the amount of oil that exists in that plant or in that region, we might be able to make another set. We could duplicate that factory, have it in 2 places. Let's get the stators kicking back up, because I definitely need the motors. Should have grabbed a 3rd stack of wire. I almost said copper wire, but it's wire, it's not copper wire. Alright, grab the stators. What few were left. Into here. So at least we're making a few motors. So we need 150 motors to comfortably finish the industrial manufacturing mission. Trains would be nice, but I'm not too worried about that since I'm just gonna build off of these inputs that we already have. I have a feeling that that's gonna change because plastic and rubber are probably gonna be used on some things already. Yeah, circuit boards. I think rubber's used for like train parts. Yeah. We'll find out, especially when I unlock manufacturing, because that's when I get the unlock for both of the space parts. Alright. Is this where we were manufacturing versatile frameworks? I might turn this one back on. Just because of how many are needed. Oh, this is the thing I destroyed. That's what it was. I need to go get more steel pipes. Oops. The rotors on this one, fine. Yep, okay. So, yep. We're definitely being limited by our stator production just because we have so few. I'm kind of glad that the oil plant took up so much of the stream because I'm honestly not ready for a redesign. Look at that. That's so cool. Yeah, I'm not ready for a redesign. Definitely need to take some time and plan. And also, I think before rebuilding the factory, building solid blueprints for everything can help. I'm gonna have to be clever with the blueprints since I am doing the balanced belts. So I can't get away with like Like, I'll need more space for the blueprints, so I'll have to be clever with how I do them. Because manifold blueprints tend to fit in pretty nicely, and also they're easy to stack since you just put like 4 down, you're done. But for the balanced belt ones, it's a little different. What are these even making? Still making modular frames? Why? I guess they're probably finishing up their own modular frames now. Engines are already at, our motors are already idle again. It's 10 per minute, and this is, yeah, I'm making 15 per minute, yet I'm using up 10 per minute. Nice one. Can't believe, wow, really? Did I really do that? That's crazy. Cool. I think we'll end up unlocking industrial machinery or industrial manufacturing and call it there. And then next stream we'll start off with editing blueprints. I want to edit that one since now we have the 480. I want to do that. But I also want to, I don't know. The issue I have with this is that it's expensive since there's so many belts. Dropping it down to like 2 belts. Honestly, maybe just not having it auto-connect and then I can connect it myself. That might be the smartest thing to do. I'll use autoconnect to figure out where it's safe to link. Like, I don't place it where one of the belts doesn't connect and then I have to deal with that nuisance. Hey, we're a portion of the way there. We're a third. Let's restock these real quick. I'll need to get more rotors shortly. So that's another 10 motors each, another 20, cool. Yeah, motors honestly was pushing it a little. Like, not really, like, motors wasn't pushing it. Trying to complete phase 2 things. Well, no, I guess the first tier of phase 2 was fine. Yeah, because getting power and stuff wasn't that bad. Honestly, but like just for even for just the unlocks on tier, the tier I'm currently on, even that's just starting to get ridiculous. Too slow. You could argue already that what I was doing prior was too slow anyways, so like this is even more egregious. It is time for a redesign. The spaghetti must be re-spaghettied. Oh, we have some stators in here. Go looking around, checking what I've got lying around. Plenty of that. Oops. Nothing readily usable. Okay, come on. I totally grabbed that. That should have let me climb up. What about this one? Lots of Caterium or Quickwire. Nope. Okay. I've got stuff just lying around like crazy. How are we doing over here? Oh, it's almost full. Cool. I wish I could run through and just pick up the outputs and dump the inputs, like just a quick max stack. I did not mean to take 3 stacks of wire. Didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that again. Whoops. Another 13 on this one, and another 12 on this one. So, 25. So that puts us at another third of the way. Be 3/4. Alright. I'll have to end up going through a bunch of these and transporting the materials off to a storage site so that I don't lose them when I break down stuff. Which, yeah. You know what? I have a jetpack. I could go for this. Go for it now. Let's do that. Yep, I had a feeling there would be one of the hives here. Oh, we get a new item.
The effigy only sings when you compose.
I was not built to use organic components for communication. I am adjusting.
The effigies make a flow. You are not the current.
I am not sure what you mean. I do run on a current. I am a digital construct.
I feel like we're probably what it's referring to as an effigy, and it thought that Ada is like controlling us directly. And I think it got confused because it's like, your effigy is clearly organic. What do you mean you can't talk like organically? Are you not in control of like your effigy, your like avatar? Pretty sure that's what it meant. You can see the buggers over there. Literally buggers, because they are bugs. This will be another 20. So 33. So we're at 160. Okie dokie. I think it's time for... No, it really isn't. Let me start editing the to-do list in the meantime. So we did this, but I'm gonna change this over to make blueprints and then redo the factory. I think that's what our goal will be. You know what? Let me take all of the biomass I have and start processing it. Forget which side is which. I'm pretty sure this is... Nope, it's leaves. I was going to get that wrong. And that's why you check. And how are we doing over here? Oh, look at that. That's plenty. We have more here? Yes, we do. We also have wood. Still don't know what that is. I don't think I left something up there, but I might. Might have. Oh well. So we're at 56, which means we're at 188. So we need 22 more. I may have given enough for that. That's 12. That's 12. Yep, that's enough. Cool. I'd still like to have some stators, rotors ready at least. Even if I don't make more motor or stators and rotors, because even if I don't have more motors, I'd like to at least be ready to make some if I need to. It's a lot easier to make like one stage by hand for at least a few parts. Everything from scratch. Look at this. I still have not made any vehicle. I somehow managed to actually get the truck before I got the tractor, which is a little funny. I don't think I've ever done that. This guy's pretty big. It's cool. Oh, it has a built-in crafting bench. Huh. 48 inventory slots. I think we got enough because that's 73. Yep, that is enough. Ooh. That could have been way worse. And there we go.
Milestone reached. Manufacturers can receive up to
Oh,
4
4
inputs for the
inputs.
production of complex parts, such as computers and heavy modular frames, but most importantly, the 2 new project parts. The modular engine and adaptive control unit are essential for the development of Phase 3 of Project Assembly. You are making good progress. The future is starting to look bright.
Alright. I'm definitely going to go back and unlock the weapon because I didn't realize that it gives me 3 inventory slots. That's a big deal. But let's take a look at what we just unlocked. Ah, look at that. Circuit boards, heavy modular frames, which, oh, those are, they're the screws. Oh boy. It's not horrible. Steel, both the steel products split to make steel pipes, and then um, steel beams mixed with concrete, iron to make the screws, and then um, modular frames. Now I forget. Modular frames, reinforced plates, which I can do with iron and copper now. Just make some wire. Skip screws entirely. Then iron for the rods. Okay, it's not a horrible crafting recipe, but it is a horrible rate. Um, like, that's pretty cursed. Computers, we can feed 2 computers per minute, or we can feed 5 computers per minute. Oh, no, we can't because we need, yeah. So we need 40 per minute to make the circuit boards. So we can make 2.5 computers per minute. Nice, nice. 10 out of 10. Because we need half for this, and then half for the circuit boards. And that's not even accounting any excess I would like for building random things. Although granted, I could use that half factory for that. I could use it for excess rubber and excess plastic. Now taking a look here. Ooh, wow. Okay, so we're looking at a solid 1 adaptive control unit per minute just off of the computers already. Oh man, we need circuit boards, so yeah. Wow, that's crazy. The requirements just shot through the roof. I see, I see. Yeah, so we're definitely going to have to unlock trains. We're going to have to redesign this factory. Honestly, I might not even redesign the factory. We might even move, like looking at these numbers, we might move over to unlocking trains and then, like I might buff the factory so that it actually makes the stuff I need for unlocking trains quickly enough. But outside of that, I think we kind of just have to move on and start making actual um, processing centers because that's brutal. That's actually really bad. This one's not too bad. Yeah, the motor recipe, rubber, which we're making plenty of. Smart plating, which we can make plenty of. So technically, if we make 1 of these per minute, we should make 5 of these per minute, which means 5 times 15. We can support that. 5 times 210. Should be able to. key thing there is should, but I currently have the factory messed up, so it isn't. And then smart plating, that should be able to be done to make 5 per minute. And then that means in an hour and a half, if I set these production lines up, we would have phase 3 complete. Big issue being this, because this needs 80 just to produce 2.5 per minute. I could drop it down to 2 per minute since this takes 2, and then use the excess. But this uses 5 per minute. Let me see. If I'm making 40 plastic per minute and I use up, this is gonna be probably like what? It's 20, 20, so 10, so no, I got that backwards somehow. I'll have to do, yeah. So I'll definitely have to plan for that. I think what we're gonna aim for is having dang. I want to go with my like excess idea, but like there's so much. If I go for the excess, that pushes these over to like I need to set up 2 more oil plants, which I mean I could set up another. There is another right there. I very well could. And then potentially, I guess potentially I could convert one of them into a power plant and then the other one into plastic and rubber only. Because I definitely could, let's see. So if I made fuel directly, I'd get polymer resin. There's no water nearby this plant, so maybe I'll leave this alone. But the other one, the other oil field, I'm pretty sure it's near water, so I should be able to pull water. And I can go the route of making fuel primarily and then having plastic and rubber as a side product. I know there's some alternate recipes for rubber and plastic, but I don't have them yet, so it's all right. But let's see real quick. So if I have this at taking 100 minutes, then I would need 25 to make this take 100 minutes as well. So I'll need 5 times this. That I can't support, yeah. 5 times that I can't, definitely not. But taking a look at trains real quick, monorails. I think we can do all of these except for the motors. And I'm pretty sure railways, these take quite a bit. I don't think I have enough to really support these extensively. And then there's this motor issue. So I think we'll buff the factory. I'll take a look at the numbers when planning, and if it's like, if it really is egregious, we're gonna focus on. Oh, this gives me inventory slots too. Dang. Really should have done both of these. We'll definitely focus on either buffing the factory or just completely redoing it, depending on how, like, terrible it is. Okay, what do I need for this? I need 600 of these. I've got 100 of that. Well, I think we're gonna... Actually, you know what? Based off the timing, we'll unlock the enhanced asset security and then we'll end the stream there. So 1500. 1, 2, 3. 600 iron rods. I don't even remember where I make the iron rods. It's right here, isn't it? Yep. Okay, then I guess I do remember, but like, I just haven't accessed it in so long. Oh, there were iron rods right there. Oh, oh well. Okay. Yeah, essentially, so like, the reason why I'm debating, like, if I just follow this production chain real quick, computers require circuit boards. So this has a copper requirement of let's see. If I don't use overclocking, which I'm astounded I still haven't unlocked actually. And let's just say we go for the exact amounts. Just following the chain for copper, we're looking at I believe it's 8 for the cables. And then for the circuit boards, we're looking at 4 here, and then 5 here for a single go. So that's going to be, I think each sheet is slightly less than an ingot. So let's say 4, 5, so it's 9. So that's 18 sheets, which I think translates to about 18. $270, so 27 ingots. That's 27 ingots. And then in here we have stators and cables again. Cables are, I think, 20, so 47 ingots. And then a stator. Yeah, stator is a wire. 8 wire to a single stator, so that's 4 ingots. And then we needed how many? Just need 1. Yeah, so like a single computer alone, not even looking at this, or I was looking at this, my bad, yeah. So this adaptive control unit alone takes like close to, I'd say probably like around maybe 40, maybe 35 per minute. Just alone, just to make a single one. So like the way I have my stuff set up now, it's going to be really hard to properly do. But if I go and redesign the factory and like actually start separating them off into separate units, then that should be much more feasible, especially to expand. Yeah. That's one of those where like you have you know what, that might be an interesting factory design as well. Not that I'm gonna go for it, but potentially you could have a factory design where you have all of the base resources input, and then you build just enough to produce a single one of these units, like whatever product you want. The reason being, you'd be able to drop down that. You know what? I think they have that. I think a YouTuber calls them stores. It's like a store you're able to just, you pipe the base resources in and it produces like a specific resource in bulk. at whatever ratio it can manage. So it's like all self-contained. Might be, I don't know. For a full factory, I don't know if I want to go that route. Oh, it's coming back. Flying through the floor, as it does. Cool.
Milestone reached.
3 more inventory
The
slots.
Xenobasher
Look at
is
that.
a direct upgrade from the Xenozapper. In the words of the engineer that first developed this tool, quote, "The zapper kind of electrocutes things, the basher straight up smacks stuff, while also electrocuting them," unquote. It is beneficial during encounters with aggressive fauna and has been tested thoroughly. The engineer's noble sacrifice for Xeno research will not be forgotten, whoever they were.
I might actually keep this one on this one just because I personally don't like either of these recipes. Definitely never using this one. This is like this. That's horrible to me. Why did I make the MAM? I wasn't trying to make the MAM. I was trying to make the equipment workshop. Alright, what are we looking at here? I need 2 Xenozappers and a bunch of cables, so I can make 1 more of these. Alright. Let's go get a bunch of cable, make it, and then call it that for the day. And there we go. We have gone from whatever a single damage is to 3. Pretty big upgrade after not having it for so long. You know what? I totally thought this whole time that it's a sword, and I'm just now realizing that it literally is a basher. It's just, for some reason, the light blade in the middle made me think it was a sword, but it's just, it's 3 iron rods with a beam in the middle. Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. Got at least our first oil refinery done. Be looking into doing our next one, although that one might end up being a focus on fuel with some residuals, just to make sure that we're comfortable on our power, because that's a normal and impure. If that's just temporary, that's gonna suck, but yeah, we have 2 impure nodes here, normal node and 2 impure, so we're going to be able to replicate this over here for sure. Maybe we should just keep replicating it the way I have it instead of trying to do fuel only. I don't know. I'll have to look into recipes. Either way, thank you guys for watching and have a good one.